and the number of casualties after such attacks is this is some of the went into a church, I've heard some stories, church of worship, but you see, the church and the mosques have been attacked in recent times. Now, in Edo State, government has to be held to see on his head. Around 7:30, the car trained him in was to see the vehicle suddenly stopped behind him in front of the well from on his. And the two others said from the vessels died, but he died at the hospital a few hours after, while her husband, his were treated, and the child. The solution and planes officer SP Chief Wabuzos has begun investigation to handle and bring them to justice. We may not have had this is happening here in Nigeria. The question I'm asking today on Sunny Side is, for those who are churches, for those of you who go to the mosques, for those of you who go to places of worship, maybe certain days in the week to worship, have you kind of accessed the security level in those places of worship? What is the level of security? Or do you think that a patient has security and does not need physical security? Security, the church used to department called security depend. Whether or not the security person, the general tribes who feel like that is where they can serve properly the fear of the Lord. And every places of worship, and this doesn't restrict the church alone. Do you think it is time to worship are assigned specific trained premium security? Let's talk 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007, and 0817-923-0009. Right up in the program remains 809-416. Sitting down here, if I'm going to be confused, a really intro. Welcome to the Sunny Side. Go ahead. Afternoon.
People will be attacking by the churches where people go and worship for God. People will be coming there, killing people, killing pastors and other things. It's not good. What about all those areas where they worship with Juju and other things? Did they attack them? But they also attack the churches, which is not good in life. I'm just telling you that people like it.
It's lays up. It basically make the church. Some churches are there. Some are there.
So I'm not saying that if I saw this issue, let me be serious. It's not good. You're not the way to security. They will do this who are doing things. Because if you have to it is a skill teacher. For them to be people like this, they don't have to, and there are no people who are calling the studies like those kids because I'm still being the we are not meant to be there.
Alright, thank you so much.
We're not meant to security. Thank you.
Alright, so Kusa is not meant to put security in place with God. Design from Jared. Do you agree with him on her opinion?
You don't have to ensure that they are the one free. You need to promote after the attack of Pastor Suleiman. What has PSN done or can done to protect the churches around? After most of the attacks in the northern part of Nigeria, what has PSN and other fellowship organizations, including the mosque and everybody, what have they done? The truth is this: it is high time we strategize our mode of operation as workers. Your security in your church, they must be trained. Ushers must be trained in the area of security. In that state, to avoid certain things. It should not be a regular brother that is walking somewhere. When it is 5 o'clock, he start rushing to church to go and be security, just to control cars. That is the only security we have. Just to control cars. If you don't to control cars, there is nothing as security. So train your personnel. Let them be vigilant. They must not be arm-carrying guards, but they must be so conscious and be observant to know how cars are coming into the church. The people that are coming, their attitudes and their approaches, they must know who has this person. Why the pastor drive like this to back what is wrong? You are vigilant. The moment there is a signal, you can be able to conduct every other member with a walkie-talkie. Get this gadget. Not when you kill somebody, we now discuss it and we go home. We are not proactive. And it is time we need to face the realities. Times have changed. This question. Do you know the attack on Suleiman? We from this side, we did a study on that. And it is something serious. So To the pastors in Port Harcourt, the imams in Port Harcourt, please, it is time you put security in part of your day-to-day service activities. Get professionals like us to engage your church workers to be security conscious.
Okay, so Mrs. Zion, let me know. Do you attend church or you attend mosque? Which one?
I'm a Catholic.
You're a Catholic. So what is the security level in your place of worship?
I must say, if it is not individual, it is so porous. Porous in the sense that they can just do anything and walk away, except maybe the reverends can just touch from a sneaky door. What about the church members? What this, my church is porous, but the truth, you can't snatch cars. If it is for cars, you cannot. But apart from any other aspect, then we are porous.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Zion, for being honest. What is the level of security in your place of worship? Someone on Agwashim Kenneth says today is 17th August 2023, not 16th August. Oh, I'm so sorry. Our digital design had 16th August 2023. Thank you for bringing that to our knowledge. But we'll have to use that for the time being. Dessa from East West Road. Welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to add my voice
Go ahead.
to this discussion. I am Chief Benson. Yeah, I'm in Quebec.
Welcome, Chief.
Yeah, I am a Christian. So I worship in the church. I am an Anglican. It is important that in the face of reality, with what we are saying, like the one that has happened in, or I think that was also in Ondo State, where unknown gunmen, as we call them here, also invaded the church and killed a number of innocent worshippers. It's been happening in other parts of the country, and now it has happened here. It's pathetic because the present security situation of the country is getting worse and worse by the day. Government is not helping matters, and citizens go to the church as their last resort to seek the intervention of God, and there again they are killed. It's painful. Where do we go to? If we cannot go to the court, we can't trust the security, and we say we will go to the church and lay before Almighty God our problems. And right there, our church leaders and unsuspected members will be brutally killed. That is left for God. But let me say this, like Mr. Zion rightly said, most of us have not known that things have changed. Mr. Zion said that children of these days are ready to exhume their old grandparents because of the gold and the apparel, they dress it when they were buried. And this is very correct. This is very correct. Time and tide have changed. But if we reflect biblically, we will see that even in the Garden of Eden, when man derailed, when Adam and his wife derailed, God did not waste time to institute security. Security is instituted or was instituted by the Almighty God himself. We are told in Genesis that immediately he told them, seraphim and other angels to take over the garden. And the Bible described that they will roll around the garden with a sword, a very mighty sword in their hand. What are they doing there? They are protecting that environment.
Okay.
God himself, from the biblical version, was the first detective on earth. He was the one that asked Adam, where are you? This is a detection, an interrogation. Where are you? What have you done in this place? So I kept you.
Okay.
You know, and you can say that God himself is security conscious. Once an offense was committed by Adam, he saw it and he interrogated. He asked basic questions that every detective will ask when an incident occurs.
All right.
What happened?
All right. Thank you so much. Grants from Ada George, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Grant.
Okay, from the outlook of modern day churches, I think there is fully armed security for the pastors already. We should be laying much emphasis for members, because in some churches recently, even you, a member, can't even have direct access to the preacher because of full preacher. The problem is the members, especially side.
Okay.
So we should have at least have school premises, we still stay enough. And all like modern day church, it is only in Brazil the God people that are over and they have it. So like in the days of the master.
But I mean, the security.
So there was what to defend their life. So they did not create a man. Jesus himself, he has so much death in the mind. God, he needs to our pastors should be emulating Christ, which they are teaching. Walk freely, you believe. It is your members that need security because they are not fully grounded. They don't have that level of faith you have. You are interacting directly with the Almighty God. You do miracles. You heal people, which means power flows through you.
Okay.
Which if you're walking on the street, you can change somebody who wants to kidnap a bed.
All right.
I think the members should be laying emphasis on.
The members should lay emphasis on their pastors to ensure security. All right, thank you.
No, what I'm saying is we have to lay more emphasis on the members' security, not that of the preacher.
Not that of the preacher. So who will be saddled with that responsibility? I'm sure it should be the preachers. Are you saying that every member should come to church with their own form of security?
No, the church can make provisions for this. They can set a budget aside. I've worshipped outside this country countless of times.
Okay.
It's a totally different setting. Even the money, most of the money that comes into the church is regulated by the government, and the church is giving a token to run the day-to-day activities, so that you don't bamboozle people through blackmail, emotional blackmail of sowing seed and using their head because of religion.
Okay.
Money comes in to keep security checkpoints on the road. In fact, on that line of the church road, that street, it should be secured. Because most people are soft targets when they leave the church premises. Oh, they know they are going to church on Sundays. They wait for them on the road that leads to the church, and they are being kidnapped. So let security linger a few meters away from the church, not only for you, the man of God.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think I understand you better now, Grant. Owels Ogbanga says it is a way forward to curbing ill attacks on places of worship. Ofomo Ogene Were says God's security is the best compared to human security. Thanks. So God should be left to secure the places of worship. Is that what you're saying, Ofoma? Chile Edwin says, for me, if we truly believe in the power of God, there should be no security in places of worship because God should be our ultimate protection. Wow. Am I sure I want to react to this? Faith Paulina say they say God, you help yourself. I don't understand what that means. They say, God, you help yourself. So it's very advisable for a person to be conscious about his safety and then leave the rest in God's hands. So what I'm trying to say is that we offer ourselves willingly to secure our places of worship. Offer ourselves willingly to secure our places of worship. I don't understand what that means. But let's move on to WhatsApp. This one says, good afternoon, Delightable Denise. The need to have well-detailed, tech-aided and well-equipped personnel in places of worship cannot be overemphasized. As much as God is our surest security, necessary steps must be taken to protect the lives and properties of worshippers. If we do what we should do, God will do what we can do. Security is the business of all. Would-be attackers will restrain if they know that there are some security measures put up. 30002 0817 923 0003, 0817-923-0007, and 0817-923-0009. If you're just joining us, it's still the sunny side on 92.3 Nigeria Info, and we're talking security in places of worship, not restricted to churches alone. Mosques as well. The attack on Christchurch, the attack in Christchurch, New Zealand, was an attack on mosques, on a mosque, 2 mosques, by the way. Even in Nigeria, we have had some attacks on mosques, so it's not a church thing. Now, there is a recent one. This one happened yesterday, and it was in Benin. Gunmen suspected, armed men suspected to be terror assassins, invaded a church in Edo, and they killed the pastor's wife. So they shot at the pastor, shot at his assistant, shot at his wife as well, but it was only the wife that died. So it was more like they were trailing this man of God, and as soon as he got to the church premises, that was what happened. But the thing is that it happened in a place of worship. It could have been a mosque. It happened in a place of worship. So for those of you that go to worship centers, it is not the first time places of worship have been attacked, and the number of casualties after such attacks is usually overwhelming. So what is the level of security in your place of worship? Or you have never bothered. You just want to go there on a Sunday and come back home, and you've never thought about any eventualities or any possibility that something dangerous or something like an attack can happen. I know. Yes, God forbid is what we always say. But as much as God is our security, I'm also saying that we do not need our own physical security, in case. Chinda from Chinda, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine.
All right, Chinda, go ahead.
Please, I just want to put this thing. The church has failed. The preachers in the of our of God. They don't teach God. They don't preach about God. Number one, they preach to themselves and their pocket. These men, they don't have same faith in God. Let me tell you very well. If Jesus will come again, we'll go and feed prostitutes, gamblers on the street. These people have more faith than this men. This man doesn't have faith. Look at their security convoy. You will be surprised that, and these people talk about God. Have faith. If I look at them, we think if I have not born a Christian, or not going to be a Christian, they are accepting Catholic. No, I do on 3 schools. The one care at the cultural you told me that God is a different thing. Hey, look, boy. What about this man? Believe in God. Don't believe in those men. Don't go to church.
Okay. Thank you so much, China. Back to WhatsApp. It's unfortunate that some of our youths defiled leadership, but still terrible and tempting target for potential mass attackers. Since the Owo attack and a lot of Christian churches that have been attacked in the north of Nigeria, PFN, Christian Association of Nigeria, and even the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs done specifically, especially with the recent mosque attack in Zamfara. It's every man for himself, Daniel. Thank you for that message. This one says, please give Grand the caller that called a chilled audio water on my behalf. Thank you. Why does he need a chilled water in the first place? You tell me. Because even here, I've thought about it. Some of our churches do not have any level of security. Not one at all. Starting with the fact that some of them do not even have fences and gates. So anybody can just walk in. I know this because once upon a time, my church had been robbed. And I had to take the help of vigilantes in that area to catch the criminal in one of the instances. So imagine there was no vigilante in that area. It means that other time the person would have, walked away free. It goes beyond protecting the facility, no, not the facilities, the equipment in the churches, to protecting the lives of the members of that place of worship. It could be a mosque, like I said. It could also be a church. And while we may say that God is the highest security, I don't know how to put this so it doesn't sound offensive to anyone. But the truth of the matter is, sometimes when these things happen, we need instant solution. I mean, if things can happen like this and then you go and report to the police, if things can happen in your home and then you're reporting to the police, if something is happening somewhere and then you're calling on the police, what stops you from also involving some level of security in your place of worship? Or does it look like you doubt the supreme power of the one that you serve or the one that you worship? Is that what it is to some of us? And like someone rightly pointed out, the fact that some of these general overseers, daddy GOs, men of God, will move around with their own security. They will move around with their escorts. What happens to the members who cannot afford these security? Who cannot afford these escorts? Well, there's something else I'd like to point out after I take this call from Eze calling from Ubimini. Hi Eze, welcome to the sunny side. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Dennis.
Good afternoon to you. Go ahead.
I don't know if you have watched An Insider, a Nigerian movie titled An Insider.
No, I haven't.
Where a member or members are the people perpetrating the evil in the church, attacking the pastor and the cashier members, those who count money and made away with their money. That is number one. Number two, based on what one of the callers said, you see, the fear of the evil that these so-called clergies are doing is what is luring them to protect themselves with physical security, as you call it. Otherwise, no faithful man of God that will ever think of securing himself with a Nigerian police officer or even army.
Okay.
Now, if you check, sorry to call. In fact, let it be said. There are some churches in Nigeria that does not have anything in connection with security. And finally, I know that you will bear me witness that politics had entered deeply into Nigerian Christianity.
And now that politics will be a conversation for another day. Let me quickly speak with Clement as we round up this conversation. Clement, go ahead. You have barely 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay. So let me just take this. You see, I visited a police station in the South recently, and my shop there, most of the kids there, or to do with somebody, family, store is there, all that. Now that boils down to the sanctity of that, which that call it agency or organization. That is why we call on government. So I in the religion. It's not because against it. People even say the church themselves. This government is coming to if they say the man of God, they are government to create a evil as well. Yes, this is government. I'm not okay. And I think like that.
right, thank you so much. Davidson says, good day, Sister Denise. Talking about security, I myself see that security should be constantly assigned to be in places of worship 24. We know that God's security is the highest, and sadly, we talk.
It's 1 o'clock.